week of Drunken Public. I'm your host, Victor Santana, bringing people together one beer at a time. I say the same line every week. I don't know how I mess it up. But anyway, bringing people together one beer at a time. And today we have a special guest, the Beoir Man, a.k.a. Colin, a.k.a. the sexiest man in the beerstagrammer.
That's subjective. That's very subjective.
I'm saying it. I'm calling it right now.
All right.
You know, but thank you for coming on the podcast, brother.
Oh, no problem. It's on track.
Salud. So we've been working on this for a while, man. So
yes, it's been a hot minute. Like trying to get this going since like last year, like 2-3 months ago.
Yeah, I want to say like right in the summer we try to link up.
Oh shit, was that long ago?
Yeah.
My bad.
And then but it was both our schedules didn't work out, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But you're here now, and you just ran your first bottle share. Was that your first bottle share you ran?
Kinda. Yeah.
It was good.
All right. Yeah, it was all right. Felt bad for Ed. It's like, oh man, kind of wanted like a bigger turnout for it, but it was still decent. Got the good people there.
He loved it. His podcast just came out right before this one. We met up at Turning Point.
I saw that. How was that?
It was good. It was good.
Was that planned?
Yeah, I was planned. I was trying to get him to promote his charity. But that went to a small snippet promoting the charity, which I'm gonna promote that itself. But we talk about everything else but the charity.
Funny how that works out.
It does, but he loved it. I told him too. Like I know you grabbed the ball was dropped for the setting up of the meeting for the bottle share, and you picked it up last minute. So
it felt like it. Yeah, He kind of came to like a group of us to see about. He doesn't know much about the Dallas area. So like, all right, we'll try and set it up. But knew about it like 3-4 months in advance. Then I'm checking in like January, like, hey, how's that? Is it still going on? Oh, let me check with this person again. All right. I'm married to a project manager, so that doesn't fly. It's like rubbed off on me. So
yeah.
Listen, just let me do it. Let me try and set this up.
Well, so here's the deal. It was last minute, the week of, which is not the last minute.
Yeah.
It was a couple weeks that you.
Couple weeks, yeah.
Oh, I found out that week
dates,
of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that week before was me trying to confirm with the business with Jacob on rotation and making sure like it was okay, that the time was correct.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
Making sure that if I gave any details like the glassware that they gave as part of the charity, that we were cool for that before I started sending out like official announcements.
So you were working on it for 3 weeks. Once you got confirmation of everything, then you blasted out, and that's when I found out about it. Got it. So you worked on it for a while. No, it was still a good event. I told them next time, I know you'll probably be in charge of it again, and it'll be better. Or bigger, not better. It was good. It was good. Only difference is the problem was No, the problem was it was 2 of the bottle shares that same day.
Oh, that's right.
So that's what kind of ate into it,
There was what was the other one? It was
the beer squad had like a private one where their crew went there.
Yeah.
And then you had a bottle share at Oak Cliff and their release of their super high gravity or high gravity.
It's not a bad problem.
No, it's not.
That's good. That there's like a lot of that going on here.
No, that's a good thing. It was just that timing.
Yeah.
But it was still fun. So it was an epic event. You gave away some glassware and some beers.
Hopefully Dana was all right with that.
She
was.
Chick
meets beer.
Yeah. One thing for people who don't know about you, your history into craft beer got a little different from us. I got super hyper local into like the scene, and that's how I learned about craft beer.
Yeah.
When I got into it, you drank craft beer, and then you reached out externally for craft beer and really got into it.
Oh yeah,
Am I getting that right?
Yeah, no, that's correct. Like, I'm lucky. I turned the legal drinking age in Colorado. I was living in Fort Collins at the time.
Okay.
So Odell's in my backyard, New Belgium. So that was my introduction into like craft beer. I'm going to stores. I'm like, oh, I get this cheap beer. I got when I buy cheap beer for my friends, but I would get craft beer for me, like Fat Tire. And Fat Tire was originally like one of my first favorite.
Everybody still loves Fat Tire.
Yeah, it's become a staple now. Like Sam Adams Boston Lager. So that's what got me into it. I just drank it for a really long time. Gained an appreciation for it. It was really like a couple of years or so ago, like 3 or 4, where I started getting more into it. Okay. But even then, I was always liked to drink local. It's like supporting your local business. We live in McKinney, so that's how we got introduced, like Franconia, and know, 5 or so years ago, there wasn't a lot of other craft breweries in the area.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. Now we're like, what, over 60 different craft breweries?
More than that.
Last time over 62 and growing.
Yeah.
Like,
in the Metroplex.
just in the DFW area. And
I don't think that includes Denton or McKinney, which is a couple of more.
yeah. So yeah, and they hold a special place in my heart because that's the brewery that got my wife into craft beer drinking. Franconia.
Okay.
So Franconia wheat, she loved it, and that's what finally converted her. Like, I was slowly getting her into craft beer, but that was the brewery that really got her into it, and that she wanted to drink more of it. And now she's like all about sours and all about stouts.
Sours, yeah.
I know, but it's such a
I'm
weird
with the stouts.
dichotomy. Like
Yeah.
sours.
I'm with the stouts.
Stouts.
Yeah, I'm with the stouts. I don't know
Not
about
a lot
the
of
stouts.
people do both, but her favorite's Lakewood Temptress.
That's
her,
a good one. I just had the cinnamon in the French Quarters. You know, I found them randomly at like a place. I'm like, I'll pick them up.
French Quarter. My nickname for that is the Mistress.
See, my mistress is the Legion from Community.
Because I just felt like the Temptress.
And
Like,
the mistress.
she's not so much a Temptress. She's a Mistress. Like, this is so good. It feels like a cheat one.
I cheat on every other stouts I like with the Legion. Because both of them in French Quarter is a great name
He's
for
the
the
player.
mistress.
He's the player.
Nah.
Stop player.
Let me see if I can turn. I'm gonna ask him to turn it down just a little bit.
Oh, sure.
So
what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Three Nations. The thing's devout with hazelnut.
Chocolate hazelnut.
Yeah.
How many of the other ones have you had?
Of the devout.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've had every variant of it so far.
How does that stand up?
I like it the most so far. Now,
Because I was a big fan of the creme brulee.
that's a good one. See, I need to talk to Gavin. We're gonna get Gavin back on the podcast. We had Gavin last year. He took us to, we went to Three Nations, did a walk through there. He had like this brewing stout that was not quite ready, but he was promoting it, and we tried it, and it was phenomenal. And none of that he released since equaled what he had there. So I want to find out what that was, if he could remember, because that by far is my favorite Three Nations beer. That and horchata beer fresh from tap. That is pretty
Yeah.
good.
Because it wasn't so much from a can, but
No, it's something lost in translation there, but fresh on tap. That horchata.
Always.
Oh, that was good, man.
I don't ever see anything like, oh, it's better when you put it in a bottle and
Sometimes
not drink it.
Sometimes because I think
It ages. Well,
barley wine. I think those kind of things. Some stouts when you let it allow to age. Something like the boozy wines. Like I think the heavier, bigger boozy wines. If you could sit there and age it for a year or two, I think those are good.
yes. I've got a old bottle of the Beast. I got one of the bottles during the last year. They were still putting them in production. Now that they don't make the Demon series anymore, now I'm going.
Did it make the Demon series anymore?
No, that was a few years ago where they cut that off. I don't know why. Like Samael and
See, I didn't know
the
that.
Beast. But
Because I see bottles come out rarely, pop out some things, and I thought they were still making it.
I mean, if like a bottle shop place might have one in the back, or
I'm
if they
talking
were
about like
able
a
to sell-
share. Sometimes I see with people drinking it.
I
Yeah,
mean, someone will bust it out, but I'm kind of that way too. When do I bust out? When's a good time to bust this out?
that's a good question, man.
But it's the Beast, and I'm like that mad scientist. It's like that episode of Seinfeld where, Kramer's get that rental car,
Yeah.
and it's on empty, and they're like, "How far can we go?" And I'm like, "No, keep going."
And then he gets living that life on the
Yeah,
edge.
no. Now I'm like that with my Beast. I'm like, I'd open it, but what will happen if I just keep waiting another couple of years? And that's gonna be like 10 years from now.
It's eventually going to turn on itself, but I would say this. There was a guy here, Todd, the owner, his wife or girlfriend. Sorry, Todd, if I misspoke. They have a family friend that he has a fancy wine cellar that's on a spreadsheet. So he logs in everything he brings into his cellar, and then it has this thing that tells the ultimate year to drink it, optimal year to drink it.
Oh,
So he puts it in, the year is made, and then it gives him optimal year. So when he goes into the wine cellar, he looks for 2019, what's the optimal wines to drink, and he grabs those.
it's intense.
That is intense. I was thinking about doing that.
Dedication. Yeah, I
I was
know.
thinking about doing that for like a beer cellar. Like when I get a house, I'll do that. And
That
plus,
is-
my beer cellar is still pretty young.
My beer cellar is my fridge.
Same here. I got a mini fridge. I got my big fridge.
Yeah. I try to do a mini fridge for my beer fridge, as a way of trying to keep my spending down. Because like, oh well, it's full. I can't do it.
I had that problem. I almost spent so much that I almost overdrafted a few times for paying rent, because for a while when I first got Tabor, shout out to Tabor, their app is phenomenal. Their beer, you go see different beers from the West Coast, East Coast, and you can order it and ship to your doorstep. Phenomenal app. But for a while I was spending $300 a month on Tabor, plus buying stuff locally.
Like 5 times my budget.
Well, I didn't have the budget either. There was a few times where I was looking at my rent and like, I have to dip into the savings.
If I don't have a roof over my head, then I don't have a place to keep my beer.
Damn it, the catch-22.
Okay, on that. You've already killed yours. Still working on mine.
No, sorry, you got another one right there. I don't know why you passed it over to me.
Oh, that.
Oh, for the picture.
It was in the way. It was in the way.
picture. My bad. I forgot. I already forgot.
Gotta give it its own focus.
Fair enough. No, so, you know one thing I've never asked you? Is there any particular brewery that you like personally? Like, any go-to ones that you think about? For me, it's Manhattan Project.
Besides Franconia, I mean, like, when people ask me, like, my top breweries in the DFW area, like, I don't even consider that in, like, a top 3, top 5. It's just, like, it's its own special little place.
Okay.
Like, it's got that romanticism to it.
What's the special place for you and your wife?
Yeah. I mean, we had it at our wedding. We got a couple of kegs of that stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was a part of it. We had that and Revolver, pre-course.
Pre-course.
So it still counted as independent and craft. So, yeah, no, we had a keg of that, floated that. But the problem was, it's so funny, most of the people at our wedding didn't know that it was, it's like, what is it, 7% or something?
Yeah, big boy beer.
So they're pouring out big glasses of it, so they're drinking like 2 to 3 beers worth of beer at a time.
Yeah.
And drinking like it's a regular beer. Man, got lit.
A lot of people shit face that night.
Yeah.
That's a good time. That's a good wedding. That's a good man right there.
Wedding of the century.
I like that. See, I think the worst part of weddings, unfortunately, not the worst part of weddings, but when it's a dry wedding or...
Oh, God. Or if there's tickets, like you get 2 coupons a month. Sounds like I'm flasking it.
Yeah, that's what I do. And then, half the time people just walk into the parking lot, drinking in the parking lot. That
or when you go to wine, it's like, all we got is Corona and some Bud. I'm like, guess I'll have wine. Get wine drunk.
I mean, it's nothing wrong with that. So I had a podcast with my parents because they got mad at me because I called the beers they drink shithole beers, and they should drink better beers. And not in those words per se, but we did that, and so we did that. We had an event at their house where I drank local beers with them, and they fucking fell in love with it. But they don't leave Mansfield; they just stay in Mansfield. So
they open up a brewery in Mansfield.
They do. They have a small.
Oh, they do.
They do have a brewery in Mansfield.
Which one is that?
A brew pub. I can't remember. My mom sent me a picture.
On the rise.
Dallas Brew C. I think that the people who run that page, they went there, or they were in. Somewhere down in that region, and I think they were at Hatchie or Mansfield.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I completely diverged from the question.
No.
So like someone, I guess like
this
favorite
is the
breweries.
podcast, bro. We drinking.
Right.
It's no.
Well, obviously Petacolas. I mean, that's the one I always tell people who don't know about like the Dallas beer scene, because most people think Deep Ellum because it's named after that little borough of downtown Dallas. They got a beer. It's called Dallas Blonde.
Yeah.
So that's what, and their marketing is so good that like that's what people know when they come in. But I usually tell them, no. Petacolas. Even if you can't get to the brewery itself, find yourself some Velvet Hammer somewhere. It's probably somewhere.
Yeah,
like,
everywhere,
like
every tap handle.
half a mile, you're probably near a Petacolas, near a Petacolas Velvet Hammer. But yeah, I would say Petacolas. I love Martin House and Collective because I'm a sour guy. I like sours too, and they kill it in this area. I think when it comes to sours.
Collective is killing it with the sours. A bunch of Collective beers right there behind you. Yeah, the whole lineup right behind you.
I need to get a bottle.
Get a few.
As far as like the new kids on the block, I'm really enjoying Turning Point. Even though I haven't gone out there, I've had a few of their beers. I've heard one of the variations of their Shake Zula. I really enjoyed it. Their key lime pie one that was really good.
It's good, but I wanted more pie. I wanted more key lime.
It had more on the nose. Like I smelled like, wow, it smells like the pie crust. And I drank it, and now it tastes like the lime. Like,
yeah, it was definitely a good combination.
Celestial.
killing it.
Yeah, and that was the Apollo that Ed brought when I had that. That was my first time tasting them. Very next week, I'm like, all right, we're going to Celestial. Buys Andromeda. Oh, you have some stouts. Let's get some of that. Let's get that AD Reinhardt going.
So, shout out to Dom and the Dallas Beer Squad, because I was not going to Celestial because I was like, nah, I'm not going to Celestial. Because their opening week, they came out with a bunch of IPA, New England style IPAs, and one stout variant. I'm like, man, I can't support that because I need more stouts. But everybody, shortly after I made that statement, came on the podcast like, you got to go do it.
Yeah.
After those 2 podcasts, I went and did it and went to go check them out. First, it was a beautiful facility.
Oh God.
Beautiful
Love it.
artwork on the walls, and they're still making it. They're still drawing more stuff on it.
That mural on the outside too.
Yeah, and that little back area. It's all a good spot when you have the food trucks come in. It's a phenomenal venue.
Absolutely.
First and foremost, and they make great beers from start to finish. Great beers. And I think if you go there and you want to meet other brewers there, a lot of brewers go there. A lot of people in the beer
Very well
industry go there.
respected. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know what was happening. I ran into Sean out there that day from Dallas Beer Squad.
Everybody goes there all the time.
Yeah, they've been around for like a couple of years, but they didn't officially open until Halloween, I think.
Yeah.
Of last year, so
well,
only a few months.
They know Dallas Beer Squad and Dom, who's open on False Idols. They're all friends apparently. They all know each other for years.
It's awesome.
So when I told them about that, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna support them. They're like, got to. You gotta support them. Like, you're missing out. If you don't. So I'm like
the family has to sit you down and say like, we got to talk about this.
Well,
can't do that.
When you got everybody from Jerry and everybody saying they have some phenomenal stuff, you gotta check it out. You gotta listen to it.
Yeah.
So.
Agreed. I guess as far as other breweries in the area, and those are really the big ones. And I like Noble Ray. I love what they did with the can art. It's a funny story. One of my wife's former coworkers, because he was the graphic designer for some of their first can art, like that they did. So the whole concept of them doing that art onto
They
cans.
talked about that on the podcast.
Yeah, it was him. I don't know. I can't remember his name, but my wife used to work with him.
I didn't ask for their name either, but they talked about it.
Yeah. No, that's like the whole concept. I love that. I'm always a sucker for good branding, good can art, good labeling, like especially if it's cohesive. And they put out some really good beers that got some good sours. Like
Yubnub is probably my.
Yubnub is good. Bridesmaids Tears.
It's not my thing, you know. It's
a sour.
Is it a gold or a sour? Sour? Probably a sour. You're probably
tomato.
right. Same shit. No, it's not my go-to.
It's tart. It's sour. I don't want any part of it.
Nah, it's just hard for me to drink it, but it's not bad. Eagles here's the same way.
Yeah.
But their Parampus, that's my shit. I love Parampus. By the way, you said Petticoats is one of your favorite. This is 2016 Duke. It's pretty good.
I wasn't so congested I could smell it more. My right nostril can, though. My right nostril really appreciate it. My left doesn't know what it's missing out on. I like that.
Super clean.
What style is this?
Petticoats.
No, style.
Oh, barley wine.
That's a really interesting barley wine. I was thinking it's kind of like a barley wine, but it's got a lot of citrus notes.
But this is 3 years old.
It's super smooth.
And
A lot of barley wines. I get a
12%.
Keep Dallas shit face.
Yes. Hashtag keep that shit face. No, see, but then I also look at they try to talk about the model of things like Manhattan Project. You know, they gypsy brewed at Bitter Sisters for a while, so they could save up money and make up money for opening their own spot, and then work with Full Clip to distribute, but all still hyper local.
Yeah.
So there's many models that do things here. I think
if it was me, like my personal opinion of like what I think what I hope it goes towards is going back to like even what Petticoats does. You know, they self-distribute, they don't can, they don't bottle. It's like find us in a tap room somewhere, or come to our own tap room
drink with us.
and drink, and being ingrained in the community. Like my example I always tell people, or people who are visiting Dallas, is like I remember going down there for the World Cup this past summer. And
I don't get it.
It's just so cool experience.
I don't get why they're so big into soccer. I don't get it.
Hey, I don't know what it is, but you went there, like, there was one team, like, a Guatemala team, and there was a bunch of Guatemala fans, and I'm like, go Guatemala! Like, I'm cheering for them, like, yeah, like, I love it. Like, it was just a really cool experience like that there's a place like that, and people know where to go for that.
Pennycolas is a staple, and the funny thing about it, I'm looking right at their logo here, we're drinking their stuff here. Pennycolas is a staple in the community. Michael Pennycolas, him and a bunch of people from Texas Craft Guild is the front head to changing the beer laws here in Texas.
Oh yeah.
So that's exciting too. So
there we go, finally.
I'm very proud of you. I drink the same.
Oh, you finished your first beer. So this is the Turning Point Shake Zula.
Shake Zula with pineapples.
With pineapples. I feel like I needed a little umbrella, a little pineapple on there.
Ooh, that's good.
Hashtag Pinky's out.
When in doubt, pinky out.
There you
English
go.
teacher, you was a talk about that. You was a former teacher.
Yeah.
English teacher, math teacher.
Theater. Actually,
Theater.
yeah.
So you're an actor.
Yeah, actor. That's where I get my flamboyance from.
The sexy grand picture.
Trying to set up the perfect like stage picture, and yeah, and the weird faces. Even my wife hates it. Like, get in front of a camera and like smile. I'm like, oh, I can't force a smile. I always make weird faces. It's like I don't know how to make a regular face. When
I
I'm
can't
in front
smile
of a
here. I
camera.
can't keep my eyes open in the picture. So
Like, I look best on candids. Like, when some people get me candid, smiling, like, if you see a picture of me on Instagram and it's a good picture, like a good, nice picture of me smiling, it's probably candid. Otherwise, if I'm posing, you know I'm posing because I'm making a goofy face. Because, like, I get a camera from and I just don't know. I do the rock eyebrow.
I think that's a go-to for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I used to be able to do it.
Sometimes I do drunk white chick little duck lips occasionally.
No, you make some really good pictures. I think
Thank
I'm
you.
better candid too. But the funny thing about it, I'm gonna post my
Back
last.
that picture of you was a kid. I'm just taking a picture of a beer and I'm looking through all the pictures. I'm like, I see you in the background. If you go through my feed, you'll see it because he's on there, and I lost it. Like, this is priceless.
But when at the moment it looks, I thought it was a perfect picture. But then I realized when you posted it, I was like, am I
Got
one
a
of my
little
eyes
lazy.
red?
Oh, I got lazy.
It was not a lazy eye. It's my eyes droop when I talk, and I don't know why. When I
It
talk
looked
to
like a
you,
lazy eye.
I droop.
Oh.
But so the next picture Ed posted on his got hops, got period hops.
I'm about to say gay hops.
I did not say gay hops. Did I say that?
Did not say that.
No, he has a picture of me too.
I wonder if that's an actual account. I need to look that up next.
We might have to. But he has my eyes closed too. My eyes, for some reason when I talk, I squint at people. I do not know why. And I'm like, right now, I'm focusing my eyes on right now, but I squint. I do not know why. But Jerry has a really good picture of me on his page, NTX_beer with me, candid picture of me talking. But for the most part, I look like shit. But the thing about why I want to bring up your page is, if you compare my last beer picture that I posted compared to your last beer picture,
yeah,
it's night and day. It looks like lazy to take a picture of a beer in a can, post it. Yours is like a story being told within the frame.
It's just my...
Look at that.
That's how
Look at the camera. Look at the camera. If you guys watching on YouTube, Facebook, look at the camera. It's different. There's a difference to this. It's a difference to it. I look lazy compared to you.
I appreciate it. I don't know why. It's sort of like the inspiration of the beer. Especially if it's a really tasty beer, I'm just like inspired. I'm like, you're so awesome, beer. I want to take a sexy picture of you, dress you up, make you look so good. Let me paint you like one of my French girls. Like,
Like one of my friends goes, all right. No, but you do it especially with the fruit beers. You always add the fruit that they complimenting, and you go out there.
I don't know why. Or like that Lakewood Temptress, the peanut butter one. I went,
Oh, you put all
I
the
know
peanut
exactly.
butter?
The peanut butter, little Reese's pieces around it, little Reese's peanut butter cups in it. See, the funny thing is I don't know if other people on Instagram do this, like when they take pictures like that, but I don't throw that away. I eat that shit.
I'm glad you do.
So that was funny because that day,
That's a lot of peanut butter.
No, that day I took that picture right before I had to go into work, and I forgot. Oh wait, this is an imperial milk stout. This is 9%.
It's a heavy percent.
So I ate all that peanut butter, all those Reese's pieces, and I chugged that because then I had to go like to work within 30 minutes. So I chugged that. I got to work that day, and I'm like a little buzzing. Like, this is gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day at work. Serving beer.
I do not condone this, but when I used to work the afternoon shift at a company a long time ago, I used to work at 12 o'clock. Sometimes I would come in drunk, and sometimes I'll be really hungover, and I have to come in drunk because I'm like, I gotta fight this hangover as long as possible. So I'm down two beers.
I work a little bit better with a buzz. When I used to teach, like, I feel like that should be new legislation. Put in like, should allow teachers to drink. Get a little buzz, a little Irish coffee in the morning. They will perform a little better. It's a little bit easier to deal with the crap you put up with as a teacher, or any job really that's stressful, with a slight buzz. Not drunk, slight buzz.
Yeah, there's a big difference. But then it becomes a tricky slope because slight buzz changes for everybody. You know, but no, teachers is a tough job. So thank you for doing that. For the time you did that for, but
yeah, I'm not one of those. There's a lot of teachers. It's a calling. It never was a calling for me in that sense where, it's a career defined by martyrdom. It's
a lose-lose situation outside of the
I could only do it for
gems.
so long. And I jumped out of it because I started recognizing that I was becoming more angry and more bitter. And that was going into my classroom. It was affecting my students. It was affecting me. I was getting to the point like the last 2 years when I was teaching, at least a couple of nervous breakdowns, like breakdown in the corner, huddled in the fetal position, crying. Kind of nervous breakdowns that I would have. And, that wasn't the only thing. I had a lot of personal stuff going on in my life too.
It compounds on itself.
Yeah, but it wasn't helping. But the breaking point was when it was getting into my classroom and affecting my kids. And it's like, that's not good. I don't want to be one of those teachers that kids hate, because we all had those teachers that we just hated. And I didn't want to do that. And I had a heart-to-heart with my kids. Said, this is going to be my last year. I haven't been as great of a teacher I was in previous years. I got to go. I don't want it to affect you anymore. You deserve something better. So I got to get out and not make you suffer because of it. And that's why I bowed out. I kind of still do it on the side and do my own little private business stuff with it. And I might go back to it someday after I've had enough distance from it. But, luckily, my wife, she's like my sugar mama. Because she is
also
killing it.
your
She
rock.
is. Oh, she
It's
is.
also your rock.
Oh yeah, that's how, when you have a mutually beneficial relationship like that, how you lean on each other. And she's doing really great, so we did that. And I took a bow out. But it's funny, I work maybe 20 hours a week as a bartender. This is the funny thing, bartender, which most people can do with a high school diploma.
Yeah.
No college degree. Working 20 hours a week, I almost make as much as I did as a teacher working 50 hours a week. Granted, I have to work on weekends, I don't get summers off, that kind of thing. But if I worked full-time, worked like 35, 40 hours a week with what I was doing, I'd make as much as I would as a teacher. That's crazy.
There's a problem with the teaching system, and it needs to be corrected. We could talk about that for hours.
Oh yeah.
Podcast.
No.
But first and foremost, thank you. But a lot of our friends are teachers too. Adriana's a teacher.
Yep.
Guy running this weekend's event, I forget his name right now.
What is it? Lamar and from the Hoppy couple.
No, hobby couple of teachers.
Yes.
But
choir
no.
teachers. They're in the arts.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Or at least Lamar is. I think Lamar's a choir. I think they're both choir teachers, but I'm not sure.
See, I didn't know that.
If I made that mistake, I'm sorry.
We will correct that. No.
Edit, postscript, little tagline.
No. The guy running the meetup this weekend. I see his Instagram name. Mike.
Miktar.
I was gonna say Michael, but is that his name?
Yeah, Miktar. That's his Instagram name, but Mike, yeah.
Mike.
He was in Garland ISD with me too.
Yeah. He's a
technology, CTE, I think.
He's been doing it for a hot minute.
Oh,
But there's a
yeah.
lot of teachers in the beerstagram.
It's something about the career that makes you want to drink.
And he also has fire pictures too, so check him out.
Oh,
Big
yeah.
Tar. He runs a lot of the meetup for our events, for all of us to get together.
Fun fact, his logo, if you look at it, M-I-C-T-A-R, Miktar, his logo, designed by his daughter. She's really talented too.
No way. I didn't know he had a daughter. I knew he had a son.
Yep.
And we met him, but I met him for the first time a few weeks
Yeah.
ago. But
Wife
yeah.
makes awesome cookies. She did that. He did that one bottle show. She brought cookies. I'm like, these are amazing. Who did this? Oh, it's my wife. He was trying to take credit for them. She had to come in and defend herself.
well, I think that's what husbands do. I think what spouses do. People take credit for the team effort.
Yes, it was a team effort.
It was a team effort.
Yeah, I'll agree. It's a team effort. even when it's on my wife, I do the same thing. Like,
It's a team effort.
team effort. Team shot.
Heard that. No, but you and your wife are. Well, I know you a lot more than your wife. I met your wife once or twice. Seems like a phenomenal person.
Oh, she is. Yeah. When you find someone like that, sure. If any of you out there do have somebody like that, like when you meet them, like you don't, like honestly, if she goes before I do, or if I lost her, I would turn into the old man from Up.
First of
That
all,
would be me. I would just.
All, it's not jinx that, so knock on wood that doesn't happen.
Well, she has actually said that she needs to go before me because she's told me like, oh, if you go before me, I'll probably just die. It's like I would keep going, but I would be very bitter and, like I said, turn into the old man from Up, just live by myself.
It's good reference. Good reference.
Take some chubby
Still,
Boy Scout who comes in and like brings me out of my shell to like make me enjoy life again. I don't know.
that's epic. Side note to that, I went on a date to watch Up because I like cartoon movies a lot.
Oh yeah, that first couple of minutes.
First minutes, I was like, this is not a date movie. This is not a date movie. So,
Special to place. That's kind of like a thing I'll be doing too soon again because I did that last year on my Instagram page. Is doing another giveaway and doing some more fundraisers for Walk of Hope, and it's about raising awareness for infertility. And there's a lot of people. I mean, the number they give is 1 in 8 people who deal with infertility struggles, whether it's for a guy with a sperm count or a woman who's having multiple miscarriages or just it's a couple thing. It's really prevalent, but there's a lot of stigma around it, like not wanting to talk about
people don't.
it.
That's what
It's
I was
shameful.
saying. People don't talk about
think it's
it.
shameful.
Well, people feel ashamed of it when they shouldn't. It's,
Yeah.
it's a tough thing that people go through.
And it's taken a while, but I've finally gotten to the point now where, like, literally, I remember I kind of made a coworker feel bad about it. I'm taking some vitamins and stuff, and he looks at me, oh, so you're taking your birth control? I was like, no, I'm infertile. That's my natural birth control. He's like, shit, dude, are you really? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm infertile. Can't have a kid. You have a surrogate right now. Like, all the problems we have with it. But I've kind of gotten to the point, like, well, if you can't joke about it, like, what else are you going to do? Just cry and be miserable all the time? And we've done enough of that. We still will cry and be miserable when those things happen, but
Yeah.
you gotta be able to confront it and talk about it. And there's a lot of people who go through that stuff, and it's gotta not feel afraid to want to talk about it. And there's a lot of resources out there. The Walk of Hope raises awareness for that.
What is the Walk of Hope?
So Walk of Hope is is a charity fundraiser with Resolve.org. And Resolve is a nonprofit charity that is all about raising awareness about infertility issues and also campaigning for legislation to improve. Almost every single state doesn't have good health care provided for infertility. If you're infertile and you have to pay for infertility treatments, it's all out of pocket. You got to pay thousands of dollars. And if you have to pay for a surrogate, you're talking 80 grand at least, if not up to 100 grand plus. You get a surrogate. And
That's insane.
yeah, and insurance doesn't cover it. So Resolve is all about also campaigning for legislation that is pro infertility treatment, IVF, IUI, surrogacy, and making sure that legislation can get pushed through, as well as providing support and counseling for people who are dealing with that. I mean, it can cause depression. It can break apart marriages.
It has.
I'm lucky that in our marriage, it's kind of ironic, in our marriage, me and my wife, like us going through it, it's brought us closer together. So, in a weird way, it's kind of a blessing too. It's like it's made us, we've gone through more shit in the last 5 years than most people go through in 20 years of marriage. And it's like catalyzed. We're warriors on a battlefield, like brought together because of it. But, yeah, so that's coming up in April, the Walk of Hope, and that's through Resolve.org. There's other charity organizations.
She got me tearing up right now. It's talking about the emotions.
but Baby Quest Grant is also another website that's more specifically to raising money to give people just like, here's money, kind of like a GoFundMe. So like, hey, we give these out a couple of times a year to people, like to help you fund your quest to have a kid, what I really like about him, it doesn't judge based on what your if you're homosexual or heterosexual. It's like, you want to have a kid, we're going to try and help you have a kid, which I really like. If you are in the Dallas area and you are also like I, trying to struggle with infertility treatment, go to Dallas IVF. Dr. Koo and their team, absolutely fucking amazing.
I don't know if my coworker was there. I know she goes to Dallas. Her and her wife are trying to have a kid.
Yeah. I would absolutely recommend their offices. They have been stellar this whole process with us. Dr. Marianick, downtown Dallas, also very good, but doesn't take insurance. So if you're watching this and you're also super rich, you can go through him. But we didn't.
He got you.
Yeah, we didn't have a pretty penny to spend, so we had to get away from Dr. Marianick and went to Dr. Koo. But Dr. Koo,
equally good.
Stellar.
Equally good.
And he's a sponsor too with the Walk of Hope. So raising awareness for it, helping to provide, basically, I don't know how you call it, like scholarships and grants to people, reimbursements. We'll go to it. They have the resources there for it. So most people usually think when they infertility treatment, they just, we can't have a kid, it's going to cost too much money. But there are options and resources for you. Resolve.org.
Resolve.org. We will post a link in the description for people who are interested.
I love how it divulged into this.
Yeah, no, it's important to say information. Well, let's talk about ignorant questions. Ignorant question for me. I thought even with a low sperm count, a guy can still get a girl pregnant, like with in like an injection, like they collect your sperm count.
IUI, they can. As long as you're not shooting blanks. And we were in that situation, but then we discovered that there was also an issue with my wife too, with her being able to retain an embryo and being able to bring it to gestation. So we've had some miscarriages before.
Sorry.
Don't be. You didn't have anything to do with it. It's like,
I'm not sorry. I'm not saying sorry because I did anything. I'm saying sorry that you guys went through it. It's a journey you guys already went through. No changing it, but I'm still sympathetic for it. I'm not gonna say I don't care. I've met many of my homegirls, friends of the show. I have family members who've miscarriage. It's a tough situation, for a marriage. You miscarriage 1 or 2 times. So I don't know how many times you did it, but it's regardless of 1 or 2.
And I will say tough. This, any of you that are on Instagram following either one of us, you don't need to necessarily go public with it, but if you need somebody to talk to, I am totally open to talking to y'all about it. If you just need someone to yell at, vent your frustrations to, I get it. And I am totally there for you in solidarity. So if you're going through that struggle like we have and currently are, give me a shout out. Send me a DM, anything. I will be more than happy to talk with y'all about it.
Beoir Man on Instagram, Twitter.
Yes, the same on Twitter.
Check them out. I want to say just y'all definitely if you have questions or any ideas if you have the same issues,
or if you want to be an advocate too.
Donation. Do we donate to?
You can. I haven't said anything officially up on my page, but if you look it up, you can. Or resolve.org, you can just do a monetary.
Resolve. I said Walk of Hope. That's a whole different thing.
Well, it's through Resolve. But if you go to resolve.org, you can do a monetary donation, a single time donation too. But in the coming weeks and the next month, I'm going to be more so than last year doing some giveaways like I did last year. Donations will get you entries to it. Trying to set up some public bottle shares, kind of like what I did with Ed. And I feel like I'm going to start getting lumped into like charity bottle share niche. Like, you got Jared, he's doing he's the brunch bottle share, and like talking about community and stuff, and I'll be like, if you want to do a charity bottle share, I'll be all there for you.
But it's more the merrier. I like Ed's thing for leukemia and the bike ride he does. So
yeah, the PAMS bike ride.
So how that goes, he says there's $5,000 entry fee. Regardless what it is, they're gonna take it out of his bank account regardless. They could pay it on their own or raise money for it, and he raised money for it through bottle shares.
He did a little over $8,000 last year. So
and donated the whole thing.
Yeah. If you also want a good charity to donate to, gothops.blog, his Instagram account, you can donate to his PAMS bike ride.
Yep.
All the way through September. He's doing different giveaways, so if you donate money any given month, you earn additional entries into his beer giveaways. But it'd be really awesome to have him break 10 grand this year. He did it a little over 8,000 last year.
Yeah.
So having him break 10 grand would be pretty freaking sweet.
For the short weekend he was here, he got $100 for the. It was only 6 of us there.
Yeah, $50. That was awesome. And he doubled it. He matched it. So $100.
I think he said on the podcast he did like 70 something and then added it rounded up to 30.
Yeah,
the
so-
100.
Oh, shit. Even better.
Yeah. So just for 6 of us being there, what's 6, 7 of
Yeah.
us?
Because I know you, Dina, I threw in some extra, some other, I think Sam did too.
Well,
Come get some,
yeah,
get some beer. He told me this overall. Mom's really fucking cool.
I love my mom. I love my mom to death. That's why I have a tattoo of this mom on.
What's on the top part?
Oh, it's just it's a Sacred Heart. It's a version of the Sacred Heart with a dagger through it. So it's a weird one. I got this when I was really drunk. I was like, almost.
I love my mom. Give me a tattoo.
But this is the story about this tattoo is me and my tattoo artist at the time. We were shit-faced drunk coming from a concert, and it was Mother's Day weekend. And I'm like, oh shit, I didn't give him a gift. He's like, me neither. I was like, what are we gonna do? He's like, I can tattoo you. I was like, that's an epic idea. Yes, tattoo me. What are we gonna tattoo? I was like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know either. Mom? I was like, we just can't write mom as a tattoo. I was like, my mom has a special tattoo on her calf that has my name on it. Just mimic that tattoo.
Wait, is your name or does it say son?
No, it says Mike, which is my.
That's a funny thing. Cause you like, sons will always get mom tattoo. You don't see moms going son.
That's another part of the story.
Boy.
This is another part of the story. So that Sacred Heart, the traditional Sacred Heart, what she has, with the Mother Mary holding the heart and the dagger going through it, she has that the dagger, the traditional dagger, and the heart with my name across it. So he was like, no, we're not gonna do that boring tattoo. We're gonna add this flair to it. And I was like, well, put Yolanda across it, which is my mom's name. He was like, that's too many letters. I'm drunk. I was like, okay, how about mom? Can you do mom? He's like, yep.
Got enough of me for 3 letters.
And it was this whole artwork. And you can see there's a lot of like bad impressions of it. Like there's missing lines going nowhere. Like you can barely see it right here, but there's a line right here of a bubble. The lines are not really colored in. For
So
being
nice tattoo.
for being shit-faced drunk and free.
That's really impressive.
Yeah. He was a great tattoo. He did all my artwork. But yeah, I love my mom. She's the best.
I hope my wife pulls that same crap with our kids.
I think you guys be awesome parents, first and foremost. Well, I hope it's not the same identical things. There's things that mom regret personally. Like I've had like long conversations with my mom that she wished she didn't do things with me. She's one of the biggest regrets. She treated me too much as an adult. You know.
Yeah, every parent tries their best.
Yeah, but my mom was 16 this year. She was a kid herself, so I don't blame my mom anything. And I try to tell her not to have any like. Don't be hard on herself. 16 years old, having a kid is important. You don't know yourself. You want to know enough to raise another person.
But I mean, whether you're 16, whether you're 20, whether you're 30, and you have a kid, it's like it's new for everybody.
Yeah.
You just try your damn best. You keep your kid alive.
That's power to you.
Like hard enough. Like it's difficult.
Yeah.
Especially how stupid you can be as a kid.
That's something all of our kids. No, but yeah, the 16. Your first kid is always the toughest, regardless what age it is. But
How many kids are in your family? Oh, like, are you the? Where are you?
I'm the oldest of my siblings, but I was raised with 7 of my cousins.
How many siblings do you have?
3,
3. And 7 or 6 cousins.
6 cousins.
Was,
6 cousins, 2 uncles. We grew up in the same house.
Was youngest of 6.
Youngest of 6.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I have 5 other. I have 3 sisters, 2 brothers. It's the house I grew up in. All same family, Irish Catholics. There you go. Breed like rabbits.
Don't pull out. There's no pull out game.
No, we don't do birth control. I literally remember a story. It's like when my mom was like, "You're all happy accidents. I didn't plan for any of you." But she told me when I was old enough, she finally told me like, "I had you. I thought you were cancer. Because, like, I was the last one. She was 36 when she had me. Because my oldest sister, she had when she was like 19 and 20. So, yeah, she's going there like, she went to the doctor and literally said, please tell me it's cancer and I'm not pregnant again. And she's like, she's pregnant again. I was like, yeah. And that was 12 pounds, 6 ounces.
Big baby.
Badass baby. Like my baby, this is my baby picture.
That's a healthy baby right there. That's a healthy
I
baby.
looked like Jabba the Hutt's baby. All right,
That's a
I
good
had no
baby.
neck, tongue was coming out, my eyes were closed. I thought I was gonna have diabetes, and I was like super thin, and then I just survived on my baby fat for like 4 years. I was so fat. I was probably a twin, and I just ate my twin.
You probably did.
Absorbed it.
Triplets.
There
Triplets.
we go. Yeah, it was. I don't blame any of my mom for her weirdness, because I probably caused her some mild form of dementia just through childbirth.
I think having that many kids in period makes you crazy. Say this: you're going on epic travel in a few months.
To effing Italy.
So, what is the game plan? Any places in particular you're gonna like? Are you just winging it, or do you have a plan?
Oh god, no. I kind of did that with our Scandinavian trip when we went to like Iceland and Stockholm and Denmark and Norway.
No offense to any of the places, which I've been to Norway and Iceland. There's not much there. You can wing it and figure out everything there.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we did when we were in Iceland. Was a lot of winging stuff, and we still had a great time. But this time around, what I did is I bought a couple of those Rick Steves books and did a couple of those Rick Steves books and just researched Croatia and Italy. Read those for a couple of weeks before I started like, okay, got an idea. This is about how much time we're going to need. Came up with about 2.5, 3 weeks, just short of 3 weeks. It's like 2 weeks and 5 days.
Okay.
I think I picked out certain places. I'm not doing a direct flight because that's where the most expensive part of the trip comes from. Well, it's a direct flight to Croatia. I'm like, well, yeah, that's going to cost you like $1,000 or $1,500. So what we're doing is we're taking a flight to New York, and then like 2 hours later after we land in New York, we're taking a flight from New York to Amsterdam. It's an overnight. We land in Amsterdam by like noon because of time change, and then we're gonna just stay in Amsterdam for a day. We're gonna hit a bunch of museums, do the Anne Frank, the Van Gogh, the Rijksmuseum. I also plan on. My wife is like, "Oh, it's a foreign country. We can't do it." I'm like, "No. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get an edible,
Do it.
and I'm gonna go to the red light district. I'm just gonna people watch. That's how I'm gonna spend my evening."
Red light district. You should do that with your wife. I should suggest that. Interesting. I have not personally been to Amsterdam yet, but
But I mean,
have
it's
friends-
like that's the thing. It's like you can't
friend.
not.
I have friends who've been there many times.
It's like going to Napa Valley and not having wine. Like you
Good
can't do it.
time. What I would say is, I've been yelling at people for years. You want to go to Europe? Stop in New York and Boston first. Do 2 layovers, New York and Boston.
Because that's how we did our Iceland trip. Is we stopped in Boston. We spent like a day and a half in Boston
Exactly.
before going to Reykjavik.
Do a layover in New York. If you can do it within the same day layover, you stop over in Amsterdam or Reykjavik. And then you can stay there for a day, and then you go over to anywhere else in Europe. It's vastly cheaper.
Oh yeah.
It's just a couple of hours more on your trip. And if you stay a day in Reykjavik, if you've never been to Reykjavik, spend a day there. You got all
Love
the.
it. I'd love to go
graffitis.
back.
I
It's
love
great city. It's not a village. It's not like a metroplex. Yeah, I'd say it's like a city. It's a small city.
It's a great city. It's their biggest metroplex in the country of 300,000 people. So mind you, there's only 300,000 people. There's more people in Rhode Island, I think, than in Reykjavik.
But yeah, we're doing Amsterdam next day. Then we're going to Croatia. We're doing a national park there. We're doing Split. We're doing Dubrovnik. After Split, though, we're actually going over to Bosnia and Herzegovina, doing Mostar, the starry Most, that famous bridge.
Yeah.
Then we're going to Montenegro. We're going to Ostrog Monastery, which is this Catholic church built into the side of a cliff. Like it's very cool. Then we're going to Bay of Kotor. Then we're going back up to Dubrovnik, spending like 3 or 4 days in Dubrovnik. Then we're taking a boat all the way over to Bari, Italy. Train from Italy over to Naples, and then we're doing Naples, Capri, Amalfi. We're gonna do.
So your Instagram
Pompeii.
profile's gonna be lit. That's what I'm hearing right now. Your Instagram profile's gonna be lit.
We're gonna. Now, especially with that Beoir More thing that I plan on doing. Yeah, focusing a lot more on travel and still with beer as a center point. And this is literally part of my planning process. I'm like, okay, I'll get to Amsterdam. I get some of their local beers. What's gonna be cheaper? Mailing the beer back or doing carry-on, because that's what I did when Iceland. And Iceland was our first stop, and I literally got beer there in Iceland and did it as a carry-on through all the countries, back to Boston, back to Dallas. Didn't break.
I
just did it as a carry-on.
My favorite vodka to this day is still Reykjavik vodka.
Didn't get to sample it.
Oh, I
That was
did.
it.
They got me at the airport.
Their schnapps I did. They're not even like their version of schnapps, which is their what is it? Fucking Bjork. Because that's where Bjork gets her name. It's like whatever that piece of pine birch tree or whatever that's in the.
I don't remember. I got pictures on my Instagram.
Yeah.
My personal Instagram. Here's the deal. I went to Reykjavik for a win one day because it was super cheap. Me and my homegirl. Really good friend of mine.
Like out of Boston or New York, a $350 round trip flight.
Yeah, we left out of New York. So I was like, all right, I got family in New York. We lay over for a day. We stayed in New York for a day. Saw some family real quick. Got back on a flight. Went back there. It was literally round trip was less than $300. The hotels was less than $500 for the whole week. Here's the deal, though. We went up there. I went through Christmas season. The Christmas season there for Reykjavik is weird. It's awesome weird.
We were there for in November, so we got there for the Christmas season-ish.
Okay, so Christmas week, they shut the whole government, everything shuts down for 3 days. There's no cops, there's barely any restaurants open, there's barely anything open for the 23rd, no, 24th, 25th, and 26th. There's nothing open for a few places. There's maybe 1 or 2 cops on the streets, but mostly everybody's off.
You don't really need cops in Reykjavik anyway.
Yeah, there's not many, but there was none on the streets, period. Like, they were saying they're off. Like, off. Like, everybody's at home with their family. Like,
Love it.
like, if the precinct is of 10 people, 9 of them are at home with their families. There's 1 guy left at the precinct just there to answer their phone if there is a phone.
That's what we also picked up too. They're very big on literary and book culture and reading.
They're really big on the arts. So,
yeah, and they have this thing that's called the Flokablod, and it's like book giving. It's like on Christmas Eve, you give a book to somebody. You just like that's their thing.
They're really big on. That's what they do for friends. I forgot which one is. I forgot which is the extended family. Of course, Christmas Day immediate family. But I can't remember the 26th or 24th. One's for friends and one's for extended family, and that's when they do all the exchange and shit like that. But another thing they like doing there, as a society, they love art. They love the arts, reading, poetry, all that. So if you're
that opera house they got there.
yeah, it's massive. But not even that. Is that if you're an artist and you register with them, they give you some kind of supplement funds to help you with your arts.
It's very similar to like in Ireland because they do that in Ireland. It's tax free if you're an artist. If you're a working artist,
Yeah.
painting, writing, acting, music, doesn't matter. You live tax free. You don't have to pay taxes.
Yeah, because they like the arts. And there's so few of them, they got to support the people who do the arts.
Enjoy travel.
I want to see those pictures. Again, the best Instagram picture taker, BMW.
Oh my god, thank you. I just try to showcase. The beers in the best light. When like, it's the least I can do when a brewer, someone is taking their time to craft something like that to try to like show it in its best light, to make it enticing, or at least to show appreciation for like their craft. Like, here's me trying to show my craft as appreciation for it.
That's a good point. Again, it makes me feel like I'm a piece of shit when I just take a picture.
You are. No, I'm just kidding.
I am a piece of shit. I gotta do more. But I'm not that creative. My
No,
co-host.
you're doing this, and this is like something I can't even wrap my head. Like I'm just starting to wrap my head around. I'm like, okay, maybe I should do video. And I have such a major appreciation for what you do, and for what y'all do with Dallas Beer Talk, what others do with their podcast, like what Teeny Ricky already does with Grips and Green, with
Oh, shout out to Teeny, Liquid Lunch. I think they have a great podcast.
Yeah.
And there's another beer podcast I'm forgetting right now.
No Beer Left Cast. Yeah.
They're phenomenal.
And I really like Matt. Matt's over with Brew Roots in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I really like listening to this.
Jerry's talked about them before on this podcast. I still haven't checked them out yet. New podcast, new up and comer from the hip from Matt Dixon and director of Full Flip. They have a podcast called From the Hip. But it's not, I don't know, they call it a podcast, but it's only on Facebook. It's only on Facebook. You can't get it anywhere else. But From the Hip, you can check them out. But Teeny, Hops and Grains is phenomenal. Their season 2 is up and going. So it's phenomenal. So excited about that.
Yeah, and I have major appreciation for that. That's like, I'm kind of trying to venture into like the vlog, trying to do video. But just what it takes to do that. It's anybody's craft. This is your craft. What you're doing.
I appreciate that. For calling it that. I'm just trying to figure shit out, man.
That's what a craft is. It takes a lot of hours to perfect your craft. You're not going to be perfect right away. You get better over the years. Even when I was teaching, I always apologized to every previous year. It's like, all right, my last year's going to hate me because you are going to be treated better, and you are going to resent me because next year's class is going to benefit from what I experiment with you and what I try. It's like, people have to realize that if you're not constantly learning, if you're not a 24/7 student, you're never going to get better. And if you personally think, I've achieved all I could, someone's going to be better than you.
I mean,
and even if it's not trying to be better than somebody, just trying to be better at what you do.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But it's true, though. You're right, though. You always got constantly, like I said earlier, I did a podcast. I think we talked about off air. I did a podcast with Robert, and I fucked up the audio file. I had the fixed audio file, deleted the fixed audio file, and then I was left the crappy one, which I didn't have time to fix it because it was due today, the day of, I should say. And I'm like, well, I can go without a podcast or release it and apologize, which I did. And I saw Robert earlier, and I wanted to catch him. I'm like, God damn it.
You should have just.
I didn't want to interrupt you. We were in the middle of a passionate speech.
I get it. That's what conversations happen.
No, but it's a give and take, but I do appreciate that. But I do like to want to shout out like Teeny. What Teeny does at Hops and Grains, the historical research they put into it, and the storytelling they craft it.
The production value.
They're professional writers, but they have a storytelling along with it. And they put on their podcast. They definitely want to show them some love. Liquid Lunch, it's a fun podcast, strictly for beer. Like if you just want about beer and local beer events, Liquid Lunch is phenomenal. Every Thursday, live every Thursday.
Do they repost it on IGTV or on YouTube? Or?
It's strictly audio, so you can see snippets on their Instagram.
Okay.
But strictly audio. You can find them on iTunes, Google Play. They post it there, but they don't do no video.
SoundCloud or anything, or is it just Google Play?
I don't know if it's on. It probably is on SoundCloud because they do put it on Google Play and iTunes. So I know SoundCloud, like we do it on SoundCloud. So
Yeah.
SoundCloud, we can separate it and put it on iTunes and Google Play from SoundCloud. So that's how we do it. So I assume the same way for them. Not sure. What do you think?
Good. Dry finish.
It's double dry hop.
But sometimes that can come out juicier, but that gives it a dry finish.
Roll the can to even the sediment. I've never heard that before.
Don't freak out. Sediment. It's becoming more and more prevalent these days.
I mean, that makes sense in my head. You roll it to like even out the sediment so you can get an even distribution, but I've never heard that before.
Good.
I'm not an IPA fan, but that's a good IPA. Good dry IPA.
It's juicy, but then it finishes dry. Probably the first time I have had an IPA with Calypso, so I have no idea what.
I know Calypso, the witch, isn't she a witch or something like in like West Indies religion? I might be making it up.
I'll trust you.
No, I play. I watch a lot of like fantasy movies and fantasy stuff. So I might be making that shit up. So Calypso. I don't know why that name sounds familiar.
Also very important. Seal of Independence. Always look for that. Seek the Seal. Where are they out of? I did not see this.
I don't even know where they're from.
Yeah, it's not saying that. It's Old Nation Brewing Company.
They can't tell where they came.
Michigan.
Michigan.
Williamston, Michigan.
Shout out to Michigan.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Maryland Mob, but that's Maryland Mob in Michigan. They're close together, but not the same
Totally
thing.
different states.
Yeah. Close enough though. This might as well be the same shit. Compared to Texas. It's close enough.
It's like, what is it? Saying something out, saying like Texarkana is like, it's practically El Paso.
It technically is.
That's like 12 hours.
Yeah, but it's still the same state.
It's also Texas.
That's what I'm saying.
State.
That's what I'm saying. It's the same shit to me in Texas. Like, I'm not from Texas.
Oh no, that's how we do. It's like 4-hour drive. It's a day trip.
Yeah. But growing up in New York, if going to Boston was 4 hours, like, yeah, fuck that drive, bro. That's 4 hours.
But in Texas, it's like, nah, you can do that in a day. 4 hours there, 4 hours back. You spend 4 hours there.
Good night.
Yeah.
That's a good night.
You don't even have to stay the night. You can just go down there, spend 4 hours.
I've done that many trips to Houston, many of nights. For a woman who did not deserve it. No offense, she did deserve it at the time. Every time she deserved it.
Was this one of the movie women? Different woman. Oh, different woman. Again.
We went to movies and
Different
enjoyed
player.
together. No, I'm not a player. I enjoyed my company with my friends.
My lady friends.
Yeah. That's a good beer. I'm gonna finish this big old. Duke. You want the Duke or
Ooh, I kind of
enough.
Dookie.
Dookie? No.
Little Dookie. No, not Dookie. Oh,
No, the Duke.
that's a bad way to put it.
Yeah.
It happens when you have one too many drinks.
Yeah, 2016 Duke. That is a phenomenal finish. And I think it was only $8. Yeah, only $8.
Oh, and it doesn't finish like a lot of barley ones do. That was a funny story with first bottle share. Did it back in the fall. It was the one Jerry did at Intrinsic. I think that's where I first met you and I first met Sean and everything. And I brought a couple of bottles that I thought would be good, but I didn't know any better because it's like, okay, it's my first bottle share. So I didn't tell anybody what I brought because I was also like, people don't like it, then I'm like, yeah, who the hell brought that? Jeez. But then if someone was like, that was me. So I brought this JW Wells. It was one of their English ales, whatever, 2004. And it was a barley wine.
2004?
Yes. So it was brewed in 2004. They bottled it. I bought it like in 2013, 14, something like that. So I aged it for another 4 years. So we're talking like a barley wine that had been like technically since it was brewed, bottled and shared. Like they sold it after 2004. They didn't sell it during 2004. They bottled it, kept it, then bottled it and said, oh, it's our 2004.
Yeah.
So technically a 10-year-old barley wine, and I'm like, this is either going to go really good or it's going to go really bad.
I'd be kind of scared
So
too.
I'm not
Yeah.
no. I still have the video. So I shared, I'm like, all right, nice to serve with Sean, because, Sean's on the barley wine train. And I'm like, he always goes by that, like, hashtag barley wine boss. I'm like, all right, try this. We take a sip. The video of it is perfect, because it's the closest thing to, like, an O-face when it comes to beer, because I drank it. It's like orgasm in the mouth, like, kind of situation where I'm just like, God, that was so good. I'm like, all right, I can get on barley wines. I can do barley wines. I can do this. It tastes like this because a lot of barley wines just end up tasting like boozy raisins. And that's where I feel like it's not a good barley wine if it just tastes like boozy raisins and that's it.
Well, Sean will always say you gotta age it. You can bottle it, age it for a couple years.
So I've got whatever Brain did, whatever their barley wine they did, it's in the like black and gray bottle. Forgot the name of it.
Well, I'm trying to get Oak Cliffs barley wine, super high gravity. Whenever it comes here, I'm gonna bottle it and save it.
They do age well. Then those sours, stouts sometimes too. I'm weird. Like I'll take IPAs and I'll keep them for 6 months past like their best by date, because I go by the old school motto. It's like, listen, if it can't survive at sea, it's not the IPA for me. Because like that's where it got its name.
I didn't think about it.
It was meant to survive a long travel at sea. Everyone talks about drink IPAs fresh. I'm like, listen, if it's still not good and doesn't taste good a few months later, it wasn't done right. Granted, you're gonna taste more hops fresh, but like for instance, I took Rough Tail's E-Juice, or Orange Creamsicle. Drank that 6 months later. Got it in June, drank it in December. So good. Less hop forward, less bitter, more fruit in its candy. More of that orange creamsicle.
Is that what you brought the second bottle share at Intrinsic? Someone brought E-Juice.
Oh no, I didn't bring that. I did bring an E-Juice to the one I did at On Rotation, but that was their triple blackberry.
Okay.
Their newer one.
The creamsicle, someone brought it at the one with the picture. You took the big bottle. Someone
I
brought
remember that.
Someone brought
that.
Yeah, someone brought the creamsicle there. I thought when you said it, I was like, was that you?
No,
was that
it
you? That was really good there too.
I drank it aged well. Good IPAs will still be good later, but fresh you get more hot notes. If you like a hot forward IPA, yes, drink it fresh. If it's really well brewed, it's still going to be good. So I'll be very interested because I got Apollo 11 and I got Andromeda from Celestial. I got a 4-pack of each. I'm setting aside one of each of them. I'm going to send some to some friends, but I'm going to save some for some bottle shares. But I'm going to set one of each aside, see what it tastes like in 6 months.
I'm going to start doing that. You know what? I'm going to follow your trend. I didn't think about that. It kind of blew my mind. Like, that's right. If it doesn't survive well.
That's what I got its name. India Pale Ale, because it's like supposed to survive the ship to India. Because old beers were sour and they were going bad, so they used hops. It was a preservative.
Well, even Teeny talked about this from her season 1, episode 4 or 5.
Wow, great memory.
Indian Pale. It was one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
One of my favorite episodes. I've talked about this on the podcast several times. Like, it's one of my favorite episodes. Shout out to Hops and Grains. They did a great research on it. But even then, I didn't correlate the two to like aging IPAs.
I think I don't know enough, and I'm sure there is a school of thought that would say at a certain point, just like with wine, like you're trying to do with wine, at a certain point you stop.
Everything has a shelf life, right? But it makes sense. Maybe not the New England style IPAs because they're not brewed not enough hop. They're not brewed the same way as traditional IPAs to survive, say, 5-6 months on the shelf. It might. I don't know. But that's not what they brew for, versus like the super dry hop IPAs. That makes sense why they're brewed that way. I'm gonna have to start doing that.
Yeah, just to kind of have a comparison, especially if it's an IPA you really like. Like, note what it tasted like when you drink it fresh, and then try it again.
See,
3, 4, 5, 6 months later, and then see what does it taste like. Is it still hop forward? Is it less hop forward? Do you notice more of the fruit flavors in it? Do you notice more of the pine flavors in it, the woody flavors, or the floral notes? Like, that's what I've really started to do with some of my IPAs. I always keep a couple back and just see what it tastes like a few months later.
I'm gonna start doing that because I don't know. I'm not a big fan of IPAs. No, I'm a big fan of sours. But what I have found, like, there's a sour right behind you from Epic Brewing, the pineapple sour. That's about 4 months old. In my opinion, I've had it at 4 months old. It's fucking phenomenal.
Again, goes back to a wedding story. New Belgium, La Folie.
Okay.
Back in the day, La Folie, you couldn't get it anywhere else but the brewery. They only sold it at the brewery, and they corked it. Nowadays, you can get it in any store, and it's bottle capped and everything, but you can only get it in a corked bottle at the brewery. And I remember a friend many years ago, she was going to Colorado. I said, get me some La Folie. She came back with like a case of 6 bottles, gave some away to friends, kept a couple for me, and I saved one, and I never drank it. This was like 2006 or 7. And I just saved it. And I said, I'm going to drink this on a special occasion. One of my favorite sours in the world. Because it was like, it tasted like a traditional sour, like a Flanders Red, a sour brown.
Okay,
like,
I can take that.
Like the Duchess de Bourgogne.
Yeah.
And I kept it, got married. I'm like, you know what? Wedding day. Let's bust this out. I busted out for me and my groomsmen. And I was worried because I was reading up other articles from people who had saved lawful weed bottles, and it said, if you don't store it just right, it'll go bad and not taste good. I'm like, shit. So I open it up. It pours out like motor oil, very little head on it. I'm like, a little bit for everybody. We taste it. It tasted phenomenal. Way better than it did fresh out the bottle. Just a lot deeper, richer. It's still got a slight tartness on it, but you know how traditional, like a Flanders red or sour brown will taste. It gave you some of those more like cherry oak cask flavors in it. I remember even one of my groomsmen, he's not a beer drinker, he's like, it's like an explosion of flavor in my mouth. He's a non-beer drinker, and that's what he said, and I wrote that down on the bottle, explosion of flavor in the mouth, like noting that was the reaction to it.
What's going on, tap?
And I just went, this is a good sign. Marriage is going to be great. This beer tasted good after 7 years of aging. This is my last reservation on the marriage. I'm ready to get married. This was the sign. I was like going like, this beer turns out bad. I don't know if I should get married. Beer tastes good. Oh, okay. I'm ready to get married now. Good. It's good. Beer is awesome. All right. That's how like ingrained I am with beer. Is like.
In your marriage, that's intense, bro. That's beautifully intense. I do not know if that'll be aged well in 7 years, but
the school of thought for most sours is 1 to 2 years.
That's for a lot of light beers. That's the good thought.
Yeah, 1 to 2 years of aging for sours. That's when they reach their peak. This will be good after, but peak is like. So I don't know if my lawfully would have been better after 2 years. Maybe I got.
It was perfect. No, it was perfect
for that.
Where you guys had it. It was perfect, and it's a beautiful way to end this podcast.
That's a whole other conversation for a different day about the psychology of beer drinking.
Next time we come on the podcast, we can talk about the psychology of beer. We can do a lot more conversation next time we come on the podcast.
Always be welcome to it. I fucking love it.
No, you're always welcome to the show. Well, I'll see you again in a few days, and I'll see you again a few
See you
more weeks.
tomorrow, my friend. When this airs, this will be in the past.
Yes.
Tomorrow will also be in the past. But, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, man.
See you tomorrow. Salud.
Okay.
Follow Beoir Man, Twitter, Instagram. Phenomenal. The sexiest man in the beer game. I'll tell you this right now. My opinion. I'll fight anybody on that. Fight me. Also, follow us anywhere on social media. That's Beer Talk. You can find us anywhere. Support local craft breweries. Just have fun doing it, guys. I want everybody to have a safe weekend. Peace. Take a lift. Don't drink and drive. Love you guys.